Hello! So, I wanted to talk about these two girls that we're all blessed with or cursed with, depending on how you think about them. I mean, sure, when I'm running wearing a super tight sports bra and it like rubs my skin off, I think, motherfuckers. They're also a symbol of the fact that I'm a woman and I'm massively proud of that fact. I also love having boobs and love what they represent. And I don't mean a sex symbol for men, I mean what they mean to us. I mean, these two bad boys could create food for another human being. That just absolutely blows my mind. Absolute side topic, but would you try your own breast milk? I've always wondered that people's answer to this question because I know I definitely would, but I just don't know if I'm gross. So, it might seem pretty weird that a page like mine, which is focused pretty much on fitness stuff and running, wants to talk about boobs, but I really want to because I've been on such a journey with my boobs because of fitness. But first things first, let's get it straight. So we're used to seeing like really big melons on TV, on reality TV stars, and I think it could be really easy to just assume that there's just two types of boobs. You either have massive melons or you've got small boobs, and they're your only two options. That's it. But that's not the case. I mean, there's a bra company called Third Love, and they distinguish nine different types of boobs, all with their own parameters. God, I sound like such an engineer. I am an engineer, so it's okay. So this includes nipple placement, which way your boobs face, literally everything you can think of. So the reason I'm mentioning this anyway is because however your boobs are, it's perfectly natural and normal, however they look. It's what we see on TV and all over Instagram that's usually not natural or normal. So yeah, just wanted to get that off my chest, or boobs in this case, at the start. So anyway, back to my boobs. What can I say about them? So, I mean, first of all, mine are definitely asymmetric. One is slightly bigger than the other. Not like a whole cup size difference, but there is a slight difference. And I used to really like watch, really examine it and properly look at it in tops and bras and worry if people had noticed it looked different. But I'm sure if you asked any of my friends or my boyfriend, they would have absolutely no clue of that fact. So it just goes to show that your self-perceived imperfections are only even really ever cared about or noticed by yourself. So, fitness and boobs. So when I was about 17, I was rather proud as I had, I'd say, pretty cracking pair, let's say. I wore a double D, sometimes even an E, and yeah, I was pretty happy with that fact. And if I was wearing like a super push-up bra, for a night out on the town, I felt like I looked like a glam model. I probably looked awful, but never mind. I also want to make the point that my boobs seem to get like really big really fast, so I got like a lot of stretch marks like around the side of them. But I was never really that bothered about them, but just point out, perfectly natural and normal, your skin is always doing its best. So fitness. I've been working out consistently in one form or another since about April 2017 now. And I noticed by about September of that year that my boobs had significantly shrunk. And initially I was so sad by that fact. I thought, oh God, I've lost a massive part of what makes me sexy, of what makes me feminine, of what makes me me. And when I say it out loud, it's really stupid. Like, what made my big boobs were part of what made me me. I'm sure if you had asked any of my friends why they were friends with me, they wouldn't have ever said, oh, because you have a cracking pair of boobs. Anyway, so as I said earlier, I used to wear like a double D, sometimes even E, and right now I'm a C cup. So as you can see, that's a significant difference in breast size. And sometimes I even wear a B. Sometimes. And there's nothing wrong with that. So, of course, we all know that when we put a little bit of weight on, our boobs might get bigger. So then if we lose that weight again, we expect them to get a bit smaller. That seems completely fair. What didn't seem fair to me was the fact that when I was 17, I was a size 10 and had these big boobs. And I'm a size 10 right now, but yet my boobs are dramatically smaller. It didn't seem fair to me. So it just surprised me because I'm a size 10 now, so why hadn't my sort of, let's say, natural size that I had when I was 17 remained? I hope this makes sense, what I'm getting at. Not just moaning about having smaller boobs. I hope there's a logic to what I'm saying. So the thing I've learned about boobs through fitness is that it doesn't seem to matter what size you start off as naturally. Once you start really exercising and losing body fat, these puppies are going to go. And the reason is that your breasts are made up of breast tissue, but also fat. And it's the amount of fat that's stored there that determines the size of your boobs. So once you start exercising a lot and losing body fat everywhere, you can see where I'm going with this, these shrink. And that's nature, whether it seems fair or not. So the point of this video is just to tell you that when you start working out really hard like a boss, you know, expect your boobs to go, because they will. And I'm not trying to say that to like frighten anyone off working out. I just want you to expect it to happen. And then when you really think about it, you know, that this is going to happen, does it really matter? Because in a hell of a lot of ways, having smaller boobs is doing me massive favours. You know, I probably wouldn't be able to run nearly as well if I had really big boobs. You know, I can imagine the lower back pain you probably get, you know, if you're trying to bend over to deadlifts, if you've got massive boobs. So, you know, having smaller boobs is actually doing me a lot of favours, fitness-wise. And, you know, I even just asked my boyfriend just for recording this, do you remember that I used to have bigger boobs? And he said, yeah, I do remember, but I sort of forget, and I just remember when you bring it up. So, to be honest, I actually think he was just agreeing with me and has no recollection of my boobs ever being different. So anyway, I wanted to tell you about boobs getting smaller through fitness, more than you would probably ever have expected, just to prepare you for that and to make you think, even when it does happen, don't feel bad about yourself. It's just your body adapting to this newer, healthier, fitter version of you. And one thing I felt really super self-conscious about was the fact that, you know, I had bigger boobs, which have got smaller, and obviously skin is not a spring. It doesn't just go ping. So I have been left with like a little bit of loose skin on my boobs. And, you know, I'm not going to pretend, mentally for me, I honestly felt so awful about my boobs at first. You know, I thought, oh gosh, I've got the boobs of, you know, someone who's in their 90s. They're disgusting. I'm massively over-exaggerating here. These are my own internal thoughts, but that's what they were. There was a time when I literally couldn't look at myself in the mirror if I was topless and was bending down to pick something up. I just couldn't look at myself in the mirror because I thought it was revolting. And I'm not going to pretend otherwise. There was a time when I really thought about having surgery, maybe not necessarily implants, but having them sort of like perked up a bit, because I thought, oh, then people won't think I'm a freak with, you know, old lady boobs on a 20-something-year-old. But then the truth dawned on me. You know, I was saying, oh, I want to have this surgery so that people don't think I'm a freak. But really the only person who had a problem with my boobs was me. You know, dozens of my friends have seen me topless. I've sunbathed topless on a beach in France. My boyfriend's seen me naked. And no one has like dropped what they were doing and stared at me in shock and horror like, oh my god, look at her boobs. That has never happened because there is nothing wrong with my boobs. My boyfriend actually got so angry when I even mentioned having surgery. Now, I'm not saying at all don't have surgery. You know, if you want to do that for yourself, then do it. That's great. Make that decision. I'm just saying, for me, contemplating the idea certainly was not something I was doing for myself. I was doing it because I was worried what other people would think about me. Now, today, I can honestly say I am perfectly happy with my boobs and I think they're beautiful. No, they don't look like a glamour models. No, they don't look like the ones you see on Game of Thrones. Most of those people use bloody body doubles, so don't be fooled. But these are mine and they're perfectly normal. It's just that they've been on this journey of life and fitness with me and they show that. So just remember, however yours look, they're beautiful. Be prepared for them to change when you really start working out. And I don't just mean, you know, as you lose a bit of weight, expect them to go a bit. Expect them to keep going until you've got much smaller boobs than you ever thought you'd have. But don't dwell on that fact. Don't worry about it. The fact that you're being healthy is amazing and so admirable. And they are still absolutely beautiful. even after the changes that fitness might make to them. Okay, lots of love to you and your boobs.